And welcome back to the Arc Arena, the second game of our doubleheader tonight between Hunter and Baruch. And if you're just tuning in, boy, oh boy, have you missed a great evening of basketball as the Baruch Bearcats ladies team was able to come back in the final seconds of the game and take the game by 175-74. This is the Battle of Lexington and the CUNYAC Game of the Week. Alongside Jamal Chapman, I'm David Justin. Jamal, if the second game is anything like the first game, boy, do we have a great game in store for us tonight.
Definitely. We had a wire-to-wire game against the Hunter and Baruch women earlier before this game. And if anything, we're going to be in store for a very good game right now because the Baruch Bearcats have a great opportunity to increase their lead in the CUNYAC Conference over the Hunter Hawks, and we'll see if they can accomplish that tonight.
So we're about 2.5 minutes away from the start of the second game. Baruch coming off a monster win last Tuesday night, 2 nights ago, here against Brooklyn College. Jamal starting out on a 28-0 run, a 33-2 run.
Oh, wow.
And how important is it going to be for Baruch to get a quick start tonight?
I think quick starts for Baruch has been the recipe for wins for them so far this season. Early on in the season, they've been able to jump out to early leads and capitalize on a lot of games. You know, early when they could get to an early lead, jump on teams early and often, and not let them come back, Baruch Bearcats have been in a good position.
Led by their senior captain, Chimechiek Ekabar. But it's been the game against Brooklyn's kind of full court press. You had William Sixsmith doing what he does. You had Andre Harris contributing with double-digit points in the lineup, back in the lineup. And you were able to go all the way down to the bottom of the bench and really give some opportunities to some players lower in the rotation. Guys like DeAndre Gibbs, who had 4. A Benjamin Boateng, who had 3, won't be playing tonight, unfortunately, going all the way down. Richards, Bridie, Smith, Otley, Bantis, everyone played. But how important is it for Chimechiek Ekabar only playing 22 minutes in the game?
I think it's important because, he had an opportunity to rest and get prepared for a game against the Hunter Hawks tonight because the Bearcats are going to have to come out strong. Early in the season, they had an opportunity during that 5-game winning streak to actually walk away with a handing Hunter Hawks a big loss, beating them by 74-50. So if the Bearcats want to come out tonight with that same energy, they may have an opportunity to walk out of here victorious on the Battle of Lex.
And what a night of basketball we've had already. Like I said at the tip of our pregame show, the women's game before this, Baruch able to win 75-74 in the last few seconds of the game in what was a great basketball game. The Lady Bearcats only leading for 18 seconds of the game, but they were the most important 18 seconds. We're about 23 seconds away from the tip-off of the second game here, Jamal. What do you think Baruch really has to do tonight to get the W?
If the Baruch Bearcats are going to get the W tonight, they definitely have to come out with a lot of energy. That's like the last game when he was able to get out to an early run and just capitalize on the lead. The Baruch Bearcats need to come out and do that from the gate and walk out of here victorious. But it's not going to be an easy feat because if you go on the road and beat a team the way they beat the Hawks the last time, I know they're coming in there tonight, especially with an opportunity being only 2 games back behind Baruch in the CUNYAC standings. They're coming in with a great opportunity to come back and maybe tie them in the conference.
Only 3 games left in the season. You have this game, you have the senior night against Medgar Evers, then you go to John Jay. 2 games up right now on Hunter Hawks, so you can really solidify your spot as the 3 seed, potentially playing Brooklyn in the first round, which would be Saturday the 17th here at the Arc Arena. But of course, still in contention for that crucial first round bye.
And it's important for the Bearcats to start off tonight with a strong win because they lost to Medgar Evers earlier in the season, but they beat John Jay at the beginning of the season. So actually to start off that 5-game winning streak that they had a couple of weeks ago. So if the Bearcats are going to definitely come out strong and end off the season on a good note, it'll start tonight against the Hunter Hawks.
And it's not only the best team that wins sometimes it's the hottest team. And you're looking at a Bearcats team, granted 2 losses, but they had, like you said, had the 6-game win streak before that. 2 losses, get another win, winning 7 out of 9. And if you could close out the season with a little bit of run here, you'll be winning 10 out of your last 12, really putting yourself in a position to shine when it comes to the CUNYAC tournament.
And we all know, anyway, the best way to go into the playoffs is riding a good winning streak and with a lot of momentum.
And we are moments away. Let's get right into your starting lineups. For the Hunter Hawks, Number 0, Danny Fusco, starting at guard from East Rockaway High School from Long Island. Number 12, George Keener, the sophomore from Fort Hamilton. Number 14, Gio Gabidone, sophomore from Bronx, New York, Iona Prep. Number 20, Matt Franks, the senior from Mamaroneck, New York. And finally, number 24, Amer Lukic, the senior from William Cullen Bryant here in the city. And for your Bearcats, starting at guard, number 2, Bryler Page, starting at the other guard, number 3, William Sixsmith, starting at the third guard, number 4, Anthony Gibbs, starting at the forwards is number 15, Andre Harris, and the captain, number 32, Chimechiek Ekabar. We're moments away from the tip-off here, and the team a chance of starting early with him and Amer Lukic for the tip. Hunter in their purple road jerseys with their gold trim. Baruch wearing their white home dark blue trim. Need to dry up a little wet spot on the far side of the court, probably from some rowdy Baruch fans, but the arena still getting packed as it is the game of the week here for the CUNYAC Conference. It is also the Battle of Lex, and we're moments away from tip-off here at the Arc Arena.
You know, when it comes to the Battle of Lex, the Baruch Bearcats always expect a big crowd. They know they're going to have a big crowd on their side tonight. And let's see how the Bearcats fold in this game right here.
Amer Lukic and Chimechiek Ekabar for the tip. 2 four-year seniors about to square off, and it's going to be Lukic that comes away with it as Fusco gets the ball and will bring it up for the Hunter Hawks. Handoff to Gabidone. Quickly swung around, and it's Lukic again. Gives it to Franks. Franks looking for options. Franks hangs it off to Gabidone. Double team there. Sixsmith picks up him. Now it's Franks. Ekabar all over him. Cross-court pass into the corner as Fusco drives. No good. Rebounded there by Gabidone, but it's stripped from him, and it's going to be Ekabar quickly pushing into the front court. Gives it off to Gibbs. Now William Sixsmith thinks about the deep, deep three, and Baruch will set up the offense. Anthony Gibbs now has it up top. Gabidone on him. Handoff to Andre Harris. Gabidone kind of goes with the moving Gibbs, and Harris looking for options. Sixsmith has the ball. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. 19-11 here in the first half. Bryler Page, offensive foul. Very minimal contact. It's going to be his first foul, and it's going to go back to the Hunter Hawks.
Looked like a little flop there on the defender there. What a good way to sell it to the referee on that play. Didn't agree with that call. Like you said, a little bit of contact, not enough to call, not enough that I saw for the call.
Now Gabidone has it into the front court for Hunter. Gives it off to number 12, Keener. Franks looking for options now as he's in the high key. Hand off to Fusco, back to Franks. Ekabar on him as Franks drives. Pass out to Lukic, closed out by Bryler Page. No good, rebound short. And it's going to be to Harris. Harris over to Sixsmith. Sixsmith thinking about pulling up again, and he's been looked twice from the left wing. Maybe a couple feet. Oh, I don't want to say a couple feet out of his range because Sixsmith can hit from pretty much inside the gym.
I don't know why he didn't pull there. Usually he's ready to pull from any point on the court.
Now inside to Harris. Gives it outside to Sixsmith. Right wing three. Around and out, no good. Rebounded by Gabidone for the Hawks. Now Fusco up to Lukic. Lukic going to slow things up. Ball was tipped away by him by Harris, and it does, and it goes off Lukic last. Nice defensive play there by Andre Harris as Zach Ekabar pumping him up a little bit quickly right into Harris's face.
You know, it's Harris's first Battle of Lex tonight, and a good way to poke his hand in there to cause the defender to let the ball go out of bounds.
Bryler Page now in the front court with Gibbs. Fusco all over him for the Hawks. Bounce pass to Page. Page looking for options. Finds Andre Harris. Left elbow. Pull-up jumper. A little too strong. Rebounded, batted around, and it's going to be Keener on the rebound for Hunter as he gives it off to Gabidone, who will walk it into the front court. Now Franks has it. Takes the handoff from Lukic and able to get the first basket of the game. 2:20 gone. First basket goes to Hunter, and they go with the full court press.
Franks worked his way in there to the lane and is able to get the little layup to fall for the Hunter Hawks.
Anthony Gibbs now has it up top. Gabidone on him. Gives it off to Bryler Page, right wing, back up to Gibbs. Gibbs looking for options, finds Page again. In the corner now to Sixsmith, bounces the baseline to Ekabar, now swings it up top to Page. Page pull up three straight on. Too strong, off back rim, off high, then off front rim, and it's rebounded by Hunter, and Fusco can bring it up into the front court for the Hawks.
Bearcats right now are settling for threes early and often in this game.
And now it's Fusco left wing, gives it off to Franks. Ekabar all over him. And it's going to go off Ekekbar last. Nice defensive play by Chima. And it'll be Hunter's ball side out on the far side of the court. Gabadon to inbound for the Hawks. Looking for options, finds Franks up top. 6'5" Franks. Gives it to Fusco, finds the cutting Lukic. Able to finish with the left hand. Nice backdoor screen there by the Hawks. And Lukic able to find some space. Now Sixsmith, bounce pass to Harris, near side corner. Back outside the Page. Takes Harris's spot, swings it around to Gibbs. Gibbs going to drive. Bounce pass into Harris. Couple pump fakes. Harris able to go up strong with Franks all over him. And Baruch get their first basket with 3.5 gone here in the first.
If you're the Bearcats, you like Andre Harris right there on that right block, causing the defender to get up on his feet and being able to lay the ball up.
A nice play there is Andre Harris able to force that ball to go out of bounds. It'll stay with the Hunter Hawks on the near side. Checking in the game, number 3, Melvin Collins, the sophomore from Fort Hamilton High School. Fusco has it now, looking for options, calling out the offense. Coach Pellin for the Hawks giving in his offense to Fusco. Now it's out to Lukic. Lukic jumper over Harris, no good. Rebounded there by Franks, tipped away by Bryler Page on the steal. Bounce pass to Harris. Can't finish with the right hand though, just short. And Harris has to get back as Fusco trying to go end to end here. Right into Sixsmith, too strong, and it's rebounded by Harris. And Baruch can walk it into the front court.
It's a lot of activity by the Hunter Hawks right now on defense. It's definitely flying, definitely moving around. But the Root Bearcats are looking to find an open man as...
Oh, Sixsmith rattles it home. Deep three. And Jamal, to your point, you're talking about why hasn't Sixsmith pulled from there when he clearly has the range.
Definitely on that play, you know, the first couple of three-pointers he thought about shooting, he should have pulled, but this one went down.
Franks hands off to Keener now. Keener looking for options, finds Lukic up top for the big man playing well with the ball in his hand. 6'5" senior from New York City. Now Franks trying to give it inside to Keener, gets stolen by Bryler Page. Ekekbar running. Finds Harris, thinks about the three, puts it on the floor. Now it's Bryler Page up top to Sixsmith. 3 balls, just short, off glass, rebounded by Keener, and Coach Pellin wants the Hawks to slow things down.
But that's a good play by Bryler Page, finding the open man, and William Sixsmith from that range is always money. Just couldn't get that one to fall.
Now Franks has it up top, quick give and go with Collins. Now back inside of Collins, his shot blocked by Andre Harris. Harris giving a nice impact here at the defensive end. Oh, Gibbs stumbles, loses it, and it's going to be a kick ball. And Gio Gabadon back into the game as Lukic comes to the bench. The ball is going to stay with. And it's going to be Baruch's ball right in front of us. Excuse me, I thought it was a kick ball on Baruch. It's going to be Baruch's ball with 14:38 remaining here in the first half. Baruch lead 5-4.
But shots out to Andre Harris on that play with definitely an emphatic block on that one.
Bryler Page into Harris, right back to Page, and Page looking to give it up to Gibbs, and he finally does. Right wing. Bryler Page swung around all the way back to Gibbs, left wing. He's double teamed, dribbles out of the double, almost turns it over. Bryler Page has it now. He's going to drive, gives it to Andre Harris in the corner. Harris goes baseline, working on double team. Now Bryler Page, right wing 3, just short. Rebounded though by Ekekbar, able to snatch that one down, gives it up to Gibbs, and they'll reset.
The Baruch Bearcats right now on offense are definitely working their way through this 2-3 zone of the Hunter Hawks.
Free throw line jumper by Ekekbar, no good, just off left rim, and Hunter can bring it the other way. It's going to be Fusco now for Hunter. Gibbs on him, George Smith Jr. waiting to check in for Baruch. Now Franks right wing. Gives it inside to Gabadon, trying to work on Harris. Nice D there by Harris, rips it away. It's going to be a jump ball, and it's going to go back to Baruch with the possession arrow. George Smith Jr. checking into the game, and James Blair, the freshman from Frederick Douglass High School, checks in for the Hunter Hawks.
Coach Alisi going to that deep bench early in this game.
Without Benjamin Boateng tonight, you're going to see a little bit more of George Smith Jr., maybe even get some Matthew Grossman in here. But moving Ekekbar now to the 4 with George Smith Jr. in the game. Now Gibbs going around Fusco right into the lane. Looks like he was fouled. George Smith Jr. picks up the loose ball, though, and he's able to finish. And Anthony Gibbs, not the quickest to get back up, hobbling a little bit as he comes back down the court. Fusco has it now for the Hawks. Gives it off to Gabadon. Back up to Fusco, looking for number 21, James Blair, who just checked back into the game, working on George Smith. Now it's up top. 3-ball there by Melvin Collins. Gibbs all over him, but that'll lead Coach Pellin to call timeout for the Hunter Hawks. So with 13:04 remaining, it's a 7-7 ball game. Slow scoring, but a great game so far. It's going to be a 30-second timeout for the Hunter Hawks with 13:04 remaining. You're watching the CUNYAC Game of the Week as well as the Battle of Lexington on YouTube channel, Baruch Bearcats Broadcasting. And Jamal, great start. If you're Baruch, right in the game after a slow start, able to pull back the 7 points and tie it up.
Definitely a good start for the Baruch Bearcats because George Smith Jr. just came into the game and already made his presence felt with 2 points, cleaning up for Anthony Gibbs, on the court down there. But what a great shot by Melvin Collins on that one.
Defender all over him.
Yeah.
And now William Sixsmith to inbound in the full court pressure once again by the Hunter Hawks as Jack Sixsmith has checked into the game. Anthony Gibbs has come to the bench after he took that hard fall last possession. Collins all over Sixsmith. Hand off to George Smith Jr. Now to William Sixsmith. Now Jack Smith has the right wing. Bounce pass to George Smith Jr. Cross-court pass. Bryler Page, corner three. Nothing but the bottom of the net for Bryler Page, and that gets the Baruch faithful on their feet.
The Baruch Bearcats right now are moving the ball, and they're taking advantage of this 2-3 zone by the Hawks.
Lukic, who's back into the game for Hunter, has the ball now, gives it off to number 21, Blair. Gives it off to Collins. Collins going to drive, reverse layup. Nice move there by Collins to get around that stretched arm of George Smith Jr., but the rebound is going to be for Ekabar. The foul is going to be on 0. Danny Fusco, the sophomore from East Rockaway, Long Island, is going to be side out as that's only the first team foul for the Hunter Hawks. Checking into the game now is Blendy Ibrai, the junior for the Hunter Hawks, as number 3, Melvin Collins, comes to the bench. Also Matt Franks into the game. James Blair will come back to the bench. Bryler Page to inbound near side right in front of us. Ekabar has the ball now, hands off to Jack Sixsmith. Bounce pass back to Ekabar. Now hand off to William Sixsmith. Now Jack Sixsmith in the corner. Gives it back to his brother William. Swung it around to Bryler Page. Wide open corner three again. And same result as last time. Bryler Page, nothing but the bottom of the net. As he was left wide open on the weak side. Good ball movement there by the Bearcats.
The Hawks too late to rotate on each play. And Bryler Page making them pay with back-to-back threes.
Gabadon looking for options. Takes the pick from Ibrai. Now it's Fusco up top. Jack Sixsmith on him, looking for options himself. Gabadon gets the ball back. Lukic and Franks both cutting underneath. Doesn't find either of them. Gives it back up top to Fusco, working on Bryler Page. Pass in the corner to Franks. That's going to be a shot clock violation. Smart play there. And very good play there by Baruch's defense. And Coach Pellin a little frustrated with his offensive setup there.
Sometimes the best defense is offense. So you convert on the offensive end like they did the last 2 possessions. They move around on defense, and the Baruch Bearcats force the turnover.
11 and a half remaining, here in the first half. Baruch lead 13-7 in the CUNYAC Game of the Week on YouTube channel Baruch Bearcats Broadcasting. Jack Sixsmith has it in the front court for the Bearcats. Looking for options, bounce pass to George Smith Jr. Gabadon all over him. Hand off to William Sixsmith. No, he's actually fouled before that happens. Foul's going to be on number 14, Gio Gabadon. And George Smith Jr. getting the option here to get the ball at midcourt. Not necessarily what you want to see for the big man.
Not necessarily what you want to see, but he was almost about to create something, but he was able to get the foul call.
As Gabadon was draped all over George Smith Jr., Jack Sixsmith inbound. The ball in his hands, Ekabar now up top. Gabadon on him. Looking for options. Gives it back up top to Bryler Page. 6 points in the early going for Page. Having a great game so far. Jack Sixsmith outside the Page. Page feeling it a little bit. Looks a little short. But Ekabar corrals the offensive board. Back up top to William Sixsmith. He's going to pull from NBA range. No good off back rim. Ball tipped around. Back to Ekabar. Nope. Still tipped around. Tipped out to Bryler Page. Page thinks about the shot. Instead has a nose. He has a fresh 30. Smart play there by the captain. Bryler Page, and Baruch can set up the offense.
And you hear the crowd go crazy. They're loving the play by the Bearcats right now.
Six brothers, 2-man game right now in the backcourt. Bounce pass inside to Ekabar. He turns, gives to Bryler Page. Near side corner three, rattles it home. Bryler Page hits it again, and that gets Ekekabar amped as well as the crowd. Towels are waving. Baruch lead by 9, 16-7, coming in midway point of the first half.
And that's about staying active on the offensive end, getting those offensive rebounds, and putting up the 3 for Bryler Page.
A nice steal there by Jack Sixsmith. The entry pass going to Keener, no good. And Sixsmith will be able to set up the offense. Hand off to George Smith Jr., gives it back to Sixsmith. Pick by Ekekabar. Up top to Ekekabar, swings it to William Sixsmith. Back up top to Ekekabar. Jack Sixsmith, and he's going to travel.
Oh, man.
He knew what he wanted to do a little too quickly. As moved the feet before he puts the ball on the ground with 9:49 remaining. 16-7 Baruch lead, and we'll see Dwayne Bridey in for the first time as Bryler Page, who's having a strong night, leading the game with 9 points. 9 of the 16 for Baruch, comes to the bench for a breather.
And the last 9 for the Baruch Bearcats. On those last 3 possessions, the Bearcats were able to break down the defense and work their way around the zone to find the open Bryler Page for 3 3-pointers.
And if you're Coach Pellin, you have to be worried about some of your weak side defenses. Bryler Page has been open on that weak side corner multiple times tonight.
I definitely agree with that, David.
Fusco now, pull-up jumper. Nice shot there over a tough Baruch defense, and it's going to be a 2, 16-9, 9.5 remaining here in the first. Jack Sixsmith will bring it up as Melvin Collins comes to the bench for the Hawks to check back into the game. Dwayne Bridey now, bounce pass baseline. Finds Ekekabar up top to Sixsmith, swings it around to Jack Sixsmith. Bounce pass inside, pull-up jumper, free throw line back Ekekabar, and that hits nothing but the bottom of the net. Baruch up by 9, 18-9, 9 minutes left here in the first. And after what was a 7-7 game, Baruch have gone on an 11-2 run to extend the lead to 9.
Baruch Bearcats definitely, that timeout that was called, definitely was able to turn that into quality points here.
Lukic, dangerous pass, cross court, weak side now is Fusco, step back, jab step at a 3, rebounded by William Sixsmith, and Baruch really forcing Hunter into some shots that they don't want to take right now. Jack Sixsmith going all the way around the defense to the basket, but his pass tipped away by Fusco. Nice defensive play on one end by Sixsmith, and then a turnover on the other. And Lukic too strong inside there for Ekekabar, and he's able to go to the line.
Bad foul by Ekekabar on that play.
So it's going to be an add-one opportunity, and you can't give guys like Amir Lukic, if you're going to foul, make sure he doesn't get the shot off, because he is the big man's rather strong with the upper body strength.
And definitely in the position he had, he was already at the basket. Might as well just give up those 2 points.
Amir Lukic at the line for the old school 3-point play. And he knocks down the free throw after that rattles around. Dwayne Bridey to inbound, bounce pass to Gibbs. Jack Sixsmith has it now. As Hunter set up with the full court press, and Gibbs brings it across the court. Nice to see Gibbs back in there, Jamal, after he took that hard fall before coming out of the game before.
Definitely, he's been the leader for the team at point guard, and he's definitely been playing big for them.
And a turnover there, but Ekekabar almost steals it back, and it's going to stay with Hunter with 8:08 remaining, and a dangerous pass there by Gibbs trying to go across court, tipped away, and it'll be Hunter's ball. Another turnover here for Baruch. George. So far, their 4th turnover of the first half. Now Matt Franks has it up top for the Hawks. Gives it to Collins, now finds Lukic in the block. Has Ekekabar on him, trying to turn on Ekekabar. He's going to drive. Goes strong against Chima Ekekabar. Nice job there by Chima not to foul.
And right now, the Hunter Hawks definitely going on a little run here. 5 points, close this lead down to 4. Right now, the Bearcats going to need to get back to their offensive ways and put some points in the bucket.
And if you're Coach Elise, you got to figure out a way for Lukic not to get in the paint right there. Back-to-back possessions, able to find his way. As George Smith Jr. free throw line jumper is good. Nice turn and able to face the defender. And when he turned around, there was actually no defender there, so he's able to knock down the free throw line jumper.
Right now, the Baruch Bearcats have been able to find their scoring on the corner threes and right at the free throw line for that jumper right there for George Smith. The Baruch Bearcats are breaking down this 2-3 zone very well right now.
Matt Franks almost turns it over there. Ekekabar now out on him as Gibbs was helping out on the defensive end. And now Keener has it. Keener drives it, stripped by Dwayne Bridey. The senior rejoining the team midway through the year now finds Ekekabar. Baseline jumper off front rim, back rim, no good. And Franks comes away with the rebound, and Fusco will be able to walk it into the front court. Looking for options now. Has Sixsmith on him. Gives it out to Lukic. Lukic inside to Franks. Seeing Ekekabar on him. Seeing a nice, smart move there. Switch. Oh, nice steal there, and it was tipped away by Gibbs. Sixsmith comes away with it, gives it back to Gibbs. Goes hard. Can't finish, though. Looked like a little contact there. No call. And Fusco will quickly bring it into the front court for Hunter. Keener thinks about the three, has George Smith Jr. on him. What I was going to say is I like how they put George Smith Jr. now on Lukic and putting Ekabar on Franks.
It's a good play by the Bearcats right there.
Fusco, high floater, no good. Good defense there by Jack Sixsmith. And Baruch waiting to make a slew of changes with Villar, Harris, and William Sixsmith waiting to check into the game.
See,
Fusco all over Jack Sixsmith there.
Coach Alisi right there going back to his bench right there. George Smith could come get a breaker and send Alan Villar in, another big guy for the Bearcats.
Anthony Gibbs, free throw line jumper, no good. Rebounded there by Keener. It's tipped away. Nice play there by George Smith Jr., but it's going to stay with Hunter as Gio Gabadone checks back into the game, as well as the first time we're going to see Benny DeMarco, the 5'9" sophomore from Eastchester, New York. And it's going to be a 30-second timeout here. So with 5:56 remaining, Jamal, Baruch leading by 20 to 14. It's been a nice stretch here for the Bearcats.
It has been a nice stretch for the Bearcats, you know, pulling away 16-7, that little 11-2 run early on in the game. But the Hawks have definitely fought their way back into this game, only down by 6 points. But a great timeout by Coach Alisi right now to settle down his team, to go back on the offensive end and probably get some more points here.
So Baruch leads 20 to 14 with 5:56 remaining here in the first half. This is the CUNYAC Game of the Week. This is also the Battle of Lexington here at the Arc Arena on the campus of Baruch College. You're watching Baruch Basketball on YouTube channel, Baruch Bearcats Broadcasting. So as Baruch come out of the timeout, it's going to be Gibbs, William Sixsmith, Andre Harris, Dwayne Bridey, and Alan Villar. And it's nice to get Chima some rest here, up by 6, and having a lot of responsibility on both the offensive and defensive end.
You're definitely going to need him down the stretch, so definitely see if some other players on the team could score some buckets. So when Ekabar comes back in, he could be aggressive going to the paint.
Gabadone has it now, gives it off to Franks in the corner. Now Gabadone right wing, he's going to drive, looking for options, quickly swung around, back to Franks. Andre Harris closes around on him. Rebounded, was fought for, and it's actually be Gabadone on over the back. Anthony Gibbs, nice box out. Gibbs using his muscle right there to really box out Gabadone and forcing him into the over the back.
And Andre Harris on that play with the closeout on Franks to alter that shot. But most importantly, Anthony Gibbs.
Gabadone coming to the bench as Danny Fusco quick to check back in, and Lukic also quick to check back in for the Hunter Hawks as Melvin Collins comes to the bench. Dwayne Bridey to inbound to Gibbs. Dangerous pass. And that's going to be a travel by Gibbs. Either way, it was a nice play there by George Keener because it was going to be a charge. Either way, he kind of, the way the pass was, it led Gibbs kind of down court.
Right.
And Keener was just set up there for the charge.
And he stood his ground right there. But it's just a tough spot right there. You know, you don't want to expect to get an entry pass at that point, especially with the defender right in front of you. So you just got to turn around and get back on defense for the Bearcats.
Agreed, Jamal. And also, if you're Gibbs, your back is to Keener because you're trying to get the ball. You need the communication from your team to let you know that there's people there, even though he did walk before the inbound was completed. Now Franks working on Villar, kicks it outside. It's going to be a corner three by Keener. He knocks it down. Nice shot there by Keener to cut the deficit to 3 with 5:10 remaining here. And Fusco picks up Jack Sixsmith full court, finds Dwayne Bridey, and he's able to bring it over the timeline. Hand off to William Sixsmith, gives it off to his brother Jack. Fusco on him, and he's looking for options now. Dwayne Bridey gives it to Andre Harris. Jumper no good, rebounded there. And it's going to be DeMarco for Hunter. Fusco now and a couple small guards here for the Hunter Hawks, and Fusco and DeMarco both at 5'9". Hand off from Franks to Lukic. Lukic going to drive, working on Villar. And it's going to be a foul underneath. The foul's going to go on number 33, Alan Villar, his first. You got to like the defense of your Villar there, moving his feet, keeping Lukic on the baseline and not allowing him to get underneath the basket.
You know, that's what they was having trouble with early on when he had those 4 points by Lukic. But once they switched George Smith Jr. and Alan Villar to put a little bit more size in them, they've been able to slow him down.
Inbound there to Keener. No good, though. Too strong off the glass. Nice defensive help there by Bryler Page. And it's going to be Baruch setting up in the offensive end with Anthony Gibbs. Now Bryler Page, right wing, finds Andre Harris at the free throw line. Goes strong against Franks. Can't finish the left hand. The tip, no good. The tip again, no good. Rebounded there, and it's tipped out to Fusco for the Hunter Hawks. Andre Harris, unfortunately, struggling from in close on a couple of occasions tonight.
And that's just tough for him right there. You know, we've seen a couple tips go up there. Even the crowd in anticipation was hoping that would go down. Fortunately, couldn't get it. Ooh.
And a foul there by Anthony Gibbs, and he wanted an offensive foul as Fusco's elbows were all up in his grill.
I wanted a steal on that one. It looked like he got all ball on that play.
And that's going to be the first foul on Gibbs. And that's going to send Fusco to the line to shoot 2. 4:02 remaining here in the first half. And the crowd's starting to make some noise to try to get into Fusco's head while he's at the line. And he's off on the first.
The home court advantage is in full effect right now.
You got to love the turnout tonight. The stands are full in front of us and about half to 3/4 full behind us. Hunter having their own crew here to make some noise for their Hawks.
Doesn't matter about the Hunter right now because the Bearcats faithful, the Bearcats fans are definitely making their voice heard tonight.
And Fusco knocks down the second. You know, Jamal, a little surprising though. Not as many clubs as I've seen in the years past to really full out the gym. We've had a lot. We've had shirtless people behind us. We've had the gym shaking before. Not the biggest atmosphere we had on a Battle of Lexington night, but quite an atmosphere it is.
And you know, anytime the student presence, you have the students' presence and the students get involved, especially with all of the clubs that the Baruch has here, it definitely makes for a good night. And
a turnover there by Baruch as Fusco's able to go end-to-end and lay it in with the right hand. And we're all tied up here at 20 with 3.5 remaining here in the half.
It's tough right now for the Bearcats. They get out to these early starts, but right now the offense has staggered and they haven't been able to get a bucket since Ekekwa has gone to the bench.
Anthony Gibbs up top. Has Ebry on him. Over to Bryler Page. Fusco covers him. Bryler Page picks up his dribble. Now to William Sixsmith. Ebry on him. Pass to Gibbs. Gibbs going to drive, hands off to Villar. Villar goes up with the right hand, off glass and in. Nice play there by Alan Villar, and even better find by Anthony Gibbs.
Good way right there for Alan Villar. Get the ball down low, able to get that layup and get some points on the board for the Bearcats.
Ebry now has it. Gives it off to Fusco. Anthony Gibbs overplayed him. And nice strip there by William Sixsmith from behind as Fusco hits the deck. I think he wanted a call. Gibbs right into the lane, out to Bryler Page, swings it to William Sixsmith. Oh, off front rim, no good. Waiting for William Sixsmith to take the roof off this place by hitting a three.
And he definitely would have if he dropped that one right there, David.
Ebry has it now. William Sixsmith on him. Bounce pass to Matt Franks. Keener has it, looking for Lukic up top. Instead gives it to Ebry in the corner. Ebry back up to Keener. Handoff from Franks back to Keener.
Look in.
Keener over to Lukic. Lukic straightaway three. He hits the deck. And Andre Harris. Going to say an air ball. I thought Andre Harris got a piece, but it was a nice closeout there, and you can hear the air ball coming from the crowd here.
Good closeout by Anthony Gibbs, but right now a great substitution at the 2:20 mark for the Bearcats with George Smith Jr. and Chima Ekekwa coming back in the game. He's probably looking to close out this quarter on a high note.
2:20 remaining in the half. Baruch lead 22-20. It's been a great game so far. If you're just tuning in or you only caught the men's game tonight, what a game you missed in the first half of our action between the women when it was 75-74. The Baruch Bearcats winning in the final seconds of the game within the last 30. 5 points from Shannon Barrett, an and one, and a couple clutch free throws giving Baruch the 75-74 lead. And the W, leading only 18 seconds in the game, but it was the most crucial 18 seconds.
Like they said, it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. With great win by the Baruch Lady Bearcats.
And now Anthony Gibbs has it up top. Melvin Collins on him, now gives it off to Bryler Page, who has Fusco on him. Now Chima Ekekwa gets top of the key. Jumper a little too strong, off back rim, rebounded by Lukic for the Hawks. And Fusco can bring it into the front court. Coach Pellin yelling out the offense for his Hawks. Gives it off to Keener. Keener right wing three. Rattles that one home, and that gives Hunter the lead. 23-22, a minute and 40 remain here in the first half.
Right now the Bearcats need to find some offense, get a couple good offensive possessions before they close out this first half.
Bryler Page into the lane, right hand floater, a little too strong. Missing some open opportunities are the Bearcats here late in the first half.
Definitely need to get back to some of the things they were doing in the beginning of the first half. You know, ball movement has broken down this defense of the Hawks for them, and they need to get back to that.
Now Fusco backs out Gibbs. Back to Fusco between him and Collins. Now Franks up top, has George Smith Jr. on him. A lot of minutes in the early going for George Smith. Up top to Fusco. Finds a cutting Franks, but blocked by Chima Ekekwa. Nice play there, and it's going to be a shot clock violation and a huge play by the captain, Ekekwa.
Don't go out where Chima is standing. He's definitely going to make sure he's felt Great block right there by Kekelbar.
Now Anthony Gibbs walking it up. 52 seconds remaining here in the ball game. 25 seconds on the shot clock. Dangerous pass there by Gibbs, almost stolen away as the pass came to Ekekbar. Three-pointer by Sixsmith. He's able to knock it down. Big shot there by William Sixsmith. 25-23, Baruch lead with 35 seconds remaining here in the half.
William Sixsmith doing what he does best. Line it up and knock it down.
Now Franks hands off to Lukic for the Hawks. Ekekbar all over him. On top to Fusco. 14 seconds remaining on the shot clock. 25 on the game. Fusco's going to drive on Gibbs. The foul's going to be outside on Gibbs. And that's going to be the 5th foul, and unfortunately that's going to send the Hunter Hawks to the line. Lack of awareness there by Gibbs to send the Hawks to the line, an opportunity to tie the game with... Oh, excuse me, that is the 5th foul. My apologies. Sorry, Anthony Gibbs. Smart awareness there to know that was your final team foul. Inbound to Keener, 20 seconds left in the half. No shot clock, and Hunter can hold for the last shot. Fusco has it up top. Jack Sixsmith on him. Gibbs has come to the bench.
He's definitely right here. Needs to get a strong defensive stop.
Pick left from Franks. Fusco uses it. He's going to drive on Sixsmith. Sixsmith strips it from him. 4 seconds left. Gives it over to William Sixsmith. He's going to pull. Sixsmith bang! And he hits the huge 3 from way downtown, and that gets the crowd off his feet. And Coach Pellin is furious, wants to travel. No call there, and that gives Baruch a 5-point lead. And you don't leave Sixsmith open pretty much from anywhere on the court, but definitely not there. No hands in his face, able to hit a huge 3, and that'll send us to half, 28-23. Baruch take the big lead at halftime on a nice shot there by William Sixsmith. Wow, what an end to the first half there. I'm going to lose my voice after how these tonight's games are going. Talking about big shots on both ends and big shots in both games. So Baruch lead by 5, 28-23, and Coach Pellin was furious as he wanted to travel on Sixsmith. I don't know if he had a case there.
I don't think he had a case there, but what a way by Jack Sixsmith to get the stop on the defensive end. Find a way to get it to William Sixsmith up the court. And now he pulls for the 3 and send this whole crowd into a frenzy. But it was amazing.
What a momentum booster for Baruch. Right at the end of the half, going back and forth. At one point, you let Hunter take the lead 23-22, end the half on a 6-0 run. But more importantly, that huge shot really going to give you momentum in the halftime, giving you something great to feel about. You're running into that locker room because you want to get back on this court as quickly as possible and keep the momentum going.
And not even to add on to that, you have 2 of your top 3-point shooters going right now. You got Bryler Page with 3 3-pointers, and you have William Sixsmith with 3 3-pointers as well. So right now you got both of those guys going, so I look for them to come back out here in the second half and just let it fly from 3-pointer.
Yeah, you're talking about 2 guys with 18 out of your 28 points. Ekekbar only 2 first-half points, but 5 boards. 1 of 4 of shooting, so not the best shooting night so far for Chima. Definitely want to see him getting more of a rhythm in the second half. But if you know that your leading scorer only has 2 points and you're still up by 5, if he can get in a rhythm, he's got to be due for some points in the second half.
And we've seen moments like this for Kekelbar. He's had a quiet scoring points in the first half. But once the second half comes around, early on he gets very aggressive and he comes out and he puts points in the basket in a hurry. So it's going to be interesting to see what the Bearcats are going to do right now. But what a way to end off the first half with that 3 by Sixsmith. I'm still thinking a bit about it right now. I don't know if you are, but it was so amazing to be a part of this right now.
And the play before that by his brother Jack Sixsmith was even bigger because he gets the steal underneath the strips it to himself, and with 5 seconds left has the presence of mind to push the ball a little bit, but then hit his brother William when he knows he has space, and Jack, of course, knowing William and how he can shoot, of course, as his brother, that's probably something they've done 1,000 times in the backyard, and it's just that easy when William Sixsmith is that wide open. And Coach Pellin, frustrated, granted, for not getting the travel call, but even you've seen it a couple of times when Sixsmith has caught the ball wide open, Pellin immediately annoyed because he knows the range that Sixsmith has.
And it was interesting to see that the fact that the Hawks have not closed out a lot on William Sixsmith tonight. We've seen him early on in the first half kind of pass up some 3-point shots just to get the ball moving around, but you've seen later on in the game he said, no, I'm going to let it fly. And that's why right now he has 3 3-pointers and 9 points. So it's going to be interesting to see how we use Bryler Page and William Sixsmith for the rest of the game. But right now, what a good way for the Bearcats to end off the quarter. 28-23. Now they're going to go into the second half feeling comfortable, but they can't sleep on this Hawks team. So, because right now, Lukic down low has definitely been causing a lot of problems for them.
Yeah, and I feel like Lukic was having his way a little bit with Chimechiek Ekabar. We don't hear that too often, but he was really using his size. The big man Lukic coming in at 6'5", but stocky, wide, and having some strength in his upper body. Of course, Chima stocky as well, but able to get some of the position that Lukic wanted. But I feel like once they went away with that and they kind of switched up the matchup, putting a George Smith Jr. or a Alan Villar on Lukic, he wasn't really able to necessitate and facilitate where he wanted to in the post. And also, I feel like Coach Pellin and the Hawks kind of got away from him a little bit late in the first half.
Right, but I want to give some credit to Coach Alisi, because he noticed that and he was able to put in George Smith Jr. and as well as Alan Villar to spell each other to be able to go against Lukic and slow him down, because we had those first couple points that he got against Chima. But once you inserted George Smith Jr. on him and you put in Alan Villar, spelled him too, he was able to slow him down, and that slowed down the Hunter Hawks ever since from that point.
Yeah, I got to agree with you there. Also, a big talking point of the first half has been the Baruch ball movement. Not only left to right, but holding on to the ball, not creating bad passes. You're talking about only 6 turnovers in the offensive half. What's more impressive, Baruch have 11 made field goals in the first half and 11 assists.
See, that's contributed to the fact that they've been able to work past this defense of the Hawks. You've seen it countless times. What the Baruch Bearcats will do is they'll get into the paint, either kick it out, or they just work their way into the middle of the right there by the free throw line, or work their way for the corner threes. And so far, it's been working for them tonight, and I look forward to see them continue that formula as they go into the second half.
Yeah, and we are about 9.5 minutes away from the start of the second half. We're going to take a little break and then come back with the remainder of your halftime show. This is the CUNYAC Game of the Week. This is the Battle of Lexington, and it's only on one place, YouTube channel, Baruch Bearcats Broadcasting.
It starts right when you hit the court. You imagine your finest moment. The game-winning shot that gets you to the dance. A monster dunk or no-look pass, and cutting down the net. Sports lets us dream of our own success and prepare us for our finest moments on and off the court.
For the love of the game. But for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that, a lot more.
Sure, the game is important, but as we work so hard to build both mind and body, it's more about team.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics, and in giving the gift of sport to those for whom it seemed an impossible dream, we are working to make this a better world.
Help us keep that dream alive.
You can make a difference.
No one ever won a race because it was their turn. And guzzling the right sports drink never won all 3 sets. You can't talk your way through a tournament, and luck doesn't last. Real champions know that it takes more to do more, because wanting it just isn't good enough. You've got to be smarter, faster, tougher. After all, if championships were easy, everybody would have one. City University of New York Athletic Conference. Learn, play, succeed.
And welcome back to the Arc Arena on the campus of Baruch College. It is the second game of the CUNYAC Game of the Week. It is the second game of the Battle of Lexington, and it's the second game between Baruch and the Hunter Hawks. If you're just joining us, we have about 2.5 minutes remaining here in the half. Baruch lead 28-23. And if you're just joining us, you missed a hell of a first game. In the first game, the ladies played each other, and it was a final game, pretty much final 5 points from Shannon Barrett. They traded, her and Lung traded 3-point plays, but it was Barrett's final free throws with about 7 seconds left that got Baruch the W, 75-74, and Baruch leading this one in the second game, 28-23. Bringing back my color commentary man, Jamal Chapman. And Jamal, what a finish at the end of the first half with William Sixsmith hitting a 35-foot three to really send the crowd into a frenzy.
It definitely sent the crowd into a frenzy, and most importantly, it gave the Baruch Bearcats life. With them only being up by 2 points prior to that play, William Sixsmith giving the team that jolt they need going into the locker room at halftime and not coming back out here, not a shoot around. Let's see how the Baruch Bearcats going to fare out in the second half of this game.
The College of Staten Island currently a game and a half above Baruch in the standings. When we get a score update for between their game and Brooklyn College game at Brooklyn College, we'll definitely give it to you. The other games tonight are Lehman at Medgar Evers, John Jay at York, and this game for the Battle of Lex, Hunter at Baruch. It is your CUNYAC Game of the Week. We are about a minute away and from getting a second half started. And Jamal, only 2 points from your big man, Chimak Ekabar. However, only needing 2 when you get 9 from William Sixsmith and Bryler Page.
It's most importantly for right now, it's very important right now that the fact that Bryler Page and William Sixsmith have been able to put in a combined 18 points for the Bearcats. They're both 2 starters right now for the Bearcats that play a pivotal role in their success. But to see those guys getting started early and often is only a good sign, you know. And you have 2 standouts from off the bench, George Smith and Alan Villar, putting in 6 points combined. But most importantly, they've been able to slow down Amir Lukic for the Hawks, who's caused a little trouble for Chima and Kekelball in the first half.
Yeah, so throwing a lot of different bodies, a lot of different looks at Amir Lukic, definitely going to help Baruch. Baruch, you know, like you said, leading on those 2 guys, Page and Sixsmith. Their second leading scorer, William Sixsmith, averaging 14 a game this year, has 9 already. Ekekabar averaging close to 19. As we see now, College of Staten Island currently up 72-63 with 4:35 remaining in the game out in Brooklyn. So College of Staten Island going to hold on to that lead against Baruch. Baruch really looking to win out in order to get that home court, that bye in the CUNYAC tournament.
You know, definitely getting a bye early on in the conference tournament is always a good thing. You could get the team rested.
And a steal by Gibbs on Fusco, able to go end to end, and he lays it in. Nice play there by Anthony Gibbs, stealing it from Danny Fusco. And once again, he's going to pick up Fusco full court.
Good way to convert by Anthony Gibbs, but he almost lost that one. But a good way to gather himself and put in that layup.
And a nice pick by Franks to help Fusco out. The foul is going to be on number 4, Anthony Gibbs, as Danny Fusco hits the deck. And Gibbs just wants to know why why when a man slips, he's getting called for a foul. We got a little block there. So it's going to be Gibbs coming to the bench with his third as Jack Sixsmith quick to check back into the game.
And it's tough for Anthony Gibbs, you know, coming out trying to be aggressive early on in the second half, but now has to go to the bench with 3 fouls.
Now Fusco working on Jack Sixsmith, gets into the lane, able to pull up and hit that jumper, about a 6-footer. Nice play there by Fusco to create the space, get past Jack Sixsmith and drain the shot. Bryler Page to Jack Sixsmith. Looking for options, gives it to William Sixsmith. Up top to Bryler Page, swung around to Jack. Bounce pass inside to Harris, up top to Page. Looking for options, drives, he's fouled, and oh no, they're gonna say no basket. It's
really?
On the floor, which I don't even know how that's possible.
Really? I don't even know. He was in the air when he was fouled, so I don't know how it's on the floor. That's an interesting call right there by the ref.
And a minute gone here in the second half, 30-25, Baruch lead. And Jack Sixsmith to inbound underneath the basket. Looking for options, gives it off to Andre Harris. And Harris will dribble out with Keener on him. Bryler Page over to Jack Sixsmith. Sixsmith right wing, looking for options. Gives it over to William Sixsmith. Inside the baseline to Ek-Ekabar, about outside to William Sixsmith. Coach Pellin hands on his head because Sixsmith catches a wide open three. Can't hit. Ek-Ekabar comes away with the rebound. Can't hit it there too. Tip in by Harris, no good. Goes back up, no good again. Rebounded there by Fusco. And a lot of opportunities at the offensive end for Baruch, and Coach Elise has got to be frustrated.
Bearcats right there trying to be big on the boards right there. Was able to come down with the offensive rebounds, but couldn't convert.
And most importantly, if you're Coach Pellin, you got to be asking yourself, why is William Sixsmith constantly getting open looks from three?
It's definitely you see, Ek-Ekabar's presence on the court is very important. As soon as William Sixsmith got the ball to Ek-Ekabar, they collapsed on him, and he's able to kick it back to William Sixsmith. Even though he didn't make the three, very important for them to continue that style of play.
Matt Franks has it now baseline, looking for options. Ek-Ekabar on him. Franks gives it out to Lukic. Wing three there. No air ball, and he's going to hear from the crowd as Jack Sixsmith comes away with it up to Bryler Page. Crossover move, gives inside to Ek-Ekabar, who's going to yam it down, and that's going to send the crowd into a frenzy.
From Jack Smith to Bryler Page over to Ek-Ekabar. That's what you call the hockey assist right there. And Ek-Ekabar finishing it with the slam.
Now Keener has it in the front court, gives it off to Franks, who kind of quickly gives it back to Keener. Spin move, going baseline, can't finish over Ek-Ekabar, but Franks there for the follow through. Nice defense there by Ek-Ekabar.
That's tough for the Bearcats right there. Nobody did a closeout on Franks. He was able to come in and clean up the miss.
And now William Sixsmith can walk it across the timeline for the Bearcats, who lead by 5, 17.5 remaining here in the game. Bounce pass into Harris. Harris had an opportunity to drive. Bounce pass now from Sixsmith to Ek-Ekabar. Ek-Ekabar is going to drive. Right hand and lay in, too strong. And he got right to the rim there. Very surprising that Ek-Ekabar missed out on that one.
Tough layup right there for Ek-Ekabar. He had the clear lane. Really tough that one couldn't fall for him.
And Baruch needing to hit those, really feeding off the crowd right now. Franks hands it off to Fusco. Nice spin move there. And the foul's going to be on number 2, Bryler Page. Nothing to do there as he got past Page with the spin.
Yeah.
Very nice move by Danny Fusco.
That was a very good move by Danny Fusco right there. Good foul by Bryler Page to send him to the line. Let's see if the Bearcat crowd right now could make it hard for him to make this free throw shot right here.
And the crowd making some noise now, trying to rattle Fusco at the line, and it works on the first.
The Bearcats crowd right now, the Bearcats fans' presence is being felt here tonight in the Arc Arena.
Fusco at the line for his second. And he's off on both.
That was looking like a good foul by Bryler Page.
Andre Harris gives it off to Sixsmith. Up into Bryler Page, over to Harris. Pull-up jumper, 8-footer, and knocks that one down, 34-27. Baruch lead, a little more than 3 minutes gone here in the half.
Right now, the Bearcats have been able to work their way to that little spot on the court. Right now, they enjoy a comfortable 7-point lead.
Ek-Ekabar hustling back on D after he applied the pressure on the inbounds. Now Collins has it for the Hawks. Fusco up top, gives it over to Lukic. Gabadone coming to the scorer's table to check into the game.
Right now, the Brook Bearcats are playing very good defense, and they're sticking to their players.
And a steal there by Bryler Page. And if Hunter's not too careful here, some of these errors will really force the lead to get even bigger. It's going to be a travel on Andre Harris. And that's going to go back to the Hunter Hawks.
And even going back to that steal by Bryler Page, it almost looks like he turned around like a cornerback and just caught it midair.
And very interesting, I saw Danny Fusco come off the court there. Doesn't high-five anybody, pretty much gives everyone a limp hand and then sits on the last seat on the bench. I mean, granted, he can be frustrated, but, you know, the team's going to have your back. Nice backdoor play there to Keener, is able to finish at the rim. Nice find there by Collins.
Good way for the Hawks right there to take advantage of Baruch's defense. He's able to go to the lane all the way for the layup.
That gives Keener 8 tonight. Moves into their leading scorer. Jack Sixsmith has it. Bounce pass out to William Sixsmith. Corner 3, off back rim. Rebounded by Bryler Page. 34-29, Baruch lead. 15:40 remaining here in the game. Andre Harris has it up top, covered by Gabadone. Looking for options, gives it off to Bryler Page. Pick comes from Harris, he uses it. Page, bounce pass to Ek-Ekabar, finish with the right hand, reverse layup. And that's going to amp up the crowd. I like the big heads some of the fans are holding up.
Want to be noticed by this crowd? Want to be noticed by the players out there?
Nice play there by Andre Harris, tipping it off of Lukic's hand. And it's going to go back to Baruch. A full timeout for Coach Pellin and the Hunter Hawks with 15-17 remaining. Baruch lead 36-29. This is the game of the week for the CUNYAC. This is the Battle of Lexington. And we are live here at the Arc Arena. You're watching Baruch Basketball on YouTube channel, Baruch Bearcats Broadcasting.
It starts right when you hit the court. You imagine your finest moment. The game-winning shot that gets you to the dance. A monster dunk or no-look pass, and cutting down the net. Sports lets us dream of our own success and prepare us for our finest moments on and off the court.
And welcome back to the Arc Arena. 15-17 remaining here in the game. 36-29 Baruch lead.
Right now for the Bearcats, a Keko Bar already off to a fast start here in the second half with 4 points. Also Andre Harris with 2 points in the second half with a total of 4. And a Keko Bar with 6. Right now you have Ryler Page inside to the paint over to a Keko Bar.
Back outside to Page. And Gabadone will cover him. Andre Harris now in the corner looking for options. Backing down Lukic. Bounce pass out to Jack Sixsmith. Ryler Page in the corner. He's going to drive. Bounce pass inside. Tech Echobar, and it's going to be a kick ball against Hunter, and it'll stay with Baruch underneath with 14:53 remaining, and luckily also nice enough that it'll give Baruch 13 additional seconds on the shot clock, giving them a 20-second.
Good way for them to set up a good offensive possession here.
As inbound to Ryler Page, hands off to Andre Harris. Around and out, no good. And the foul's going to be on number 15. Harris is struggling right now from the field, 2 of 8, shooting only 25% on the night. Baruch as a whole only shooting 38.5%, so definitely finding the clean looks, just unable to knock them down.
Especially from the paint right now. Although they're shooting 40% from three-pointer, Baruch Bearcats definitely need to convert on some of these layups that they have missed, especially some at point-blank range.
So now Gabadone brings it up, gives it off to Collins, now into the front court to Franks. Number 21, James Blair, is checked back in, but now Gabadone gets it underneath and able to finish at the rim. Smart not to foul there by Page and Harris.
Right now, as the Baruch Bearcat defenders stand around, the Hawks have been able to work their way into the paint, cutting and slashing, especially converting on that layup right there.
Bounce pass to Ryler Page up top. Gives it over to Jack Sixsmith, right wing. Looking for options, gives it to his brother William. Thinks about the shot, now back to Jack. Jack's going to drive, trying to bounce it inside. Tech Echobar. And it's going to be a kick ball as Fusco checks back into the game for Collins.
See Coach Pellin over there saying that you can't throw it at the foot. You got to be able to kick it.
And Echobar gets the inbound, gives it off to Sixsmith, pulls right wing. Around and out, no good. Rebounded there by Keener for the Hunter Hawks, and Gabadone will bring it up the court.
Good shot by William Sixsmith. It's getting there, rimmed out. He definitely has to pull when he has the opportunities.
Blair has it now, top of the key. Hand off to Franks, looking for his options. Gives it up top to Keener. Sixsmith on him. 12 seconds left on the shot clock. Keener over to Franks at the free throw line. He's going to drive. Gets a tip stripped away from William Sixsmith. Nice play there by Sixsmith. Jack up to Ryler Page. Thinks about the shot. Gives it up top to back to Jack Sixsmith. Echobar thinks about the 3. Swung back to Ryler Page in the right corner. Up top to Sixsmith. Thinks about pulling. Back to Page. Page going to drive. And he gets fouled. It's going to be Ryler Page going to the line to shoot 2. The foul is going to be on number 0, Danny Fusco. It's going to be a block. And that'll send Ryler Page to the line for his first free throws of the night. The first Baruch free throws of the entire game.
Ryler Page being a 78% free throw shooter on the season. A good drive by him on that play to draw the foul for the Bearcats.
He knocks down the first.
Usually for the Bearcats, they're the one that is usually drawing the fouls, and they usually have a big foul count against the other team. But right now, as you can see, it's only their second attempt of the night.
And he goes perfect from the line. 2 of 2 is Page as he comes to the bench. Dwayne Brady checks into the game. Also in the game is George Smith Jr. Andre Harris takes a seat, and Andre Harris able to get a shot, not able to get a shot going, but able to get a shot off. 4 points, but 8 boards on 2 of 9 shooting. Fusco now quickly running, trying to go end to end, throws the lob to Keener. Nice dunk there, and an alley-oop play from Fusco to Keener.
That all started with Fusco realizing he can go all the way to the basket, and the Bearcats not watching Keener on that play.
Dwayne Brady has up top for the Bearcats. Sixsmith thinks about pulling, gives it inside. Ekabar able to spin, turn with Blair on him, and he's able to knock down the free throw line jumper.
Good way to come back down for the Bearcats. Answer. Ekabar has been very aggressive tonight in the second half. Now has 8 points.
40-33, Baruch lead, 12:45 remaining here in the game. A hard drive there by Blair is no good, and it's going to be Baruch to push with Ekabar leading the break. Gives off Sixsmith right wing. He's feeling it, rattles that one home. William Sixsmith from the right wing, his 12th point of the night, his 4th 3 on 4 of 11 shooting. All 3-pointers for Sixsmith.
It's very important for Sixsmith as he missed the one prior to that to always shoot from that 3-pointer when he has an opportunity, and was able to knock it down. Good shot by William Sixsmith.
Fusco has it now, looking for options, trying to find Blair underneath. Gives him the entry pass. Blair working on George Smith Jr. outside the Fusco now. Crossover move. He gets stripped by Jack Sixsmith. And Jack Sixsmith trying to go end to end. Up and under, no good. And Coach Alisi, I think, as the rest of the gym, is looking for the foul. But it'll stay with Baruch underneath. But Jack Sixsmith had Chima trailing. I don't know if the communication just wasn't there, but he had an opportunity to give back to the trailer. And I know you have to think that Chima was going to finish.
Definitely he was going to finish, but I think Jack Sixsmith probably went to the lane hoping that he put up a shot, get the Hunter Hawks defenders in the air, and probably go have Chima come behind and just clean up for him.
Chima in the paint, gives it off to George Smith. Baseline, no good. Nice find there by Chima. Unfortunately, George Smith couldn't finish, and now it'll be Fusco into the front court, gives it off to Collins. Collins right wing with Sixsmith on him. Collins going right to left on the court. Gives it up top to Fusco. Jack Sixsmith on him. Now Gabadon has Brady all over him. Right wing. Crossover move. Moves towards the center. Gives it off to Lukic. George Smith Jr. on him. Gabadon now up top with Dwayne Brady. Crossover move by Gabadon. Draws a foul from Brady, and that'll be Baruch's already 4th foul. So Hunter only a couple fouls, already getting Baruch into some foul trouble here in the second half.
Definitely, if the Hawks want to come back, getting that foul, then that foul number up for the Bearcats will definitely be a big factor. But they haven't done well from the free throw line tonight. 3
ball by Collins. Smart play by William Sixsmith. Not to foul. Jack Sixsmith comes away with it, though. Into William Sixsmith. Thinks about stepping back for the 3 and finds Chima up top. Wide open 3. Rattles it home, and William Sixsmith calling that 3 before it even went in. And Chima feeling it, a little arrow shot to the sky. Baruch lead by 13, coming in on 9 minutes gone here in the second.
Talk about being aggressive. Chima 9 points since the start of this second half. And that all started from great ball movement, which definitely helped the Bearcats early on in the first half. They're continuing that as they go through the second half, and they now enjoy a 13-point lead.
So 18 field goals tonight, 17 assists for Baruch, really sharing the ball, finding each other, playing off each other. With 11:09 remaining, Baruch lead 46-33, a 13-point game. You're watching the CUNYAC game of the week, the Battle of Lexington. You're watching it live from the Arc Arena on the campus of Baruch and only on YouTube channel. Baruch Bearcats broadcasting, and Jamal, nice stretch here for Baruch, really able to getting some of their shots to go down and really forcing Hunter into some bad shots on the defensive end.
And it's been a combination of good offense and good defense. Like you see on that last play, Jack Sixsmith has been definitely making his presence felt on the defensive end, getting that steal off Danny Fusco, although he couldn't convert. But also, the Baruch Bearcats moving the ball. Zach Sixsmith was able to push the ball up the court and find William Sixsmith. And when he thought about shooting the ball, he got rid of it and got it up to Ekabar, was able to pull for 3. Now the Bearcats right now, as long as they stick to this formula, they've been playing well, and they could definitely walk out of here victorious.
Yeah, I think Sixsmith wanted to pull on that corner 3, but wasn't actually in position when he received the pass. Smart play to bring it back out and find the trailing Ekabar for an open 3 straight on. Ekabar now covering Lukic, the inbounder, and gives it up to Collins up top. He's covered by William Sixsmith. Tight defense here by the Bearcats. Gives it off to Fusco up top, covered by Jack Sixsmith. Looking for Franks underneath, but it's swung around to Keener in the corner. Keener drives, can't finish, gets his own rebound. Too strong on that one. and Ekekabar comes away with the rebound. 10:45 remaining here in the ball game. Jack Sixsmith will push. Finds a trailing Ekekabar. Thinks about the shot. He'll take a step into it. Looking for an option. Gives it off to Dwayne Brighty. Ekekabar, I think, wanted to pull that on a few occasions. Keener now traps Ekekabar in the corner. Ekekabar pull-up jumper. A little too strong, no good. Fusco on the rebound for the Hawks.
Good possession right there for the Bearcats to get a good quality shot, although couldn't knock it down on that play.
I feel like Ekekabar wanted to shoot it, but because he was thinking about it so much, I think it got into his own head a little bit as the ball gets moved around. Keener, right wing three for the Hunter Hawks, knocks that one down, makes that a 10-point game coming in on halfway point of the second half. 46-36, Baruch lead.
That was a tough play for Dwayne Brighty right there, putting his hand up in front of Keener's face, but Keener hitting the cold-blooded shot right there.
Ekekabar wide open on the left elbow, and he knocks that one down. So Ekekabar having a great second half. 7 points in the second half, 7 boards overall, and add 3 assists to that. Baruch lead 48-36. Coach Pellin again wants a timeout, and a perfect time to talk things over as he's once again frustrated with his team's lackadaisical defense, to quote the great Walt Clyde Frazier. With 9:57 remaining, Baruch lead by 12. You're watching the CUNYAC game of the week, the Battle of Lexington. You're watching it live on YouTube channel, Baruch Bearcats Broadcasting. And Chima really having a nice game here. Sorry, make it 13 points, 9 in the second half. 6 of 12 shooting for Chima. Really coming alive and really getting his points here in the second half, Jamal.
And that's definitely attributed to the fact that Bryler Page and William Sixsmith definitely had a great first half, was able to have Chima sit on the bench for a little bit, get a nice rest, and like how he always does, when he gets a good rest in the first half, he comes out into the second half very aggressive, and right now 9 points in the second half, definitely putting in that work.
Now Collins has it. His pass tipped, went to Franks. Collins left wing three. Way deep. Dwayne Brighty gets the rebound. They barely hit the right side of the rim. That's how deep that was. William Sixsmith gives it up to Ekekabar. Ekekabar really feeling himself here in the second half. 9 points in 10 second half minutes. Dwayne Brighty now inside to Ekekabar. Ekekabar going to drive. Spin move outside to Jack Sixsmith. Bounce pass to Brighty. Pull up jumper, top of the key. Front rim, back rim, no good. Lukic comes away with the rebound. Fusco brings it into the front court. Slows it up, gives it off to Collins. Swung around to Keener, right side. Keener has Brighty all over him, gives it inside to Lukic, working on Ekekabar. This is the matchup that Lukic has had in the first half. Once again, can exploit it in the second half.
Definitely that's not the matchup that's favorable for the Bearcats. Going to try to find a switch between George Smith and Ekekabar.
And Collins goes for the steal there. William Sixsmith gets it from his brother Jack, gives it back to Jack. Ball in the corner now with Brighty. Bounce pass inside to George Smith. Pull-up jumper, no good, just short. And Lukic comes away with the rebound. Definitely. Good opportunity for Hunter to cut it to 8 here.
And a great defensive stop right there. That zone that they're playing right now.
And now Keener draws the foul. The foul's going to be on number 13, Dwayne Brighty. The foul's going to be on the floor, so it's going to be no shots. And it's going to be side out right underneath the Hunter basket as Collins comes to the bench. Check into the game. Number 2, Mamadou Sakho. That's actually very funny. There was a soccer player with Mamadou Sakho. I own a Mamadou Sakho jersey.
A Mamadou Sakho?
Oh, but the soccer player, not the basketball player.
What team does he play for?
Well, he played for Liverpool. Now he plays for Crystal Palace. But it's just very funny. With a name like that, you think it's almost one of a kind. And
very common, as we see.
Yeah, a little more common than one, at least. The foul underneath by Ekekabar, his second foul. 6th team foul for Baruch, so one more, and that'll put Hunter into the single bonus. Hunter will inbound from underneath. And gives it to Sakho. And he elbows Bryler Page in the face. And the reason that it took 5 seconds for a call, not 100% sure why, as Bryler Page I'm going to see what the call is here as the refs talk it over. They're going to send both teams to the bench. I wouldn't be surprised if you have a flagrant there. He came across twice with the elbows, and Bryler Page took one right in the chin.
Definitely going to have to figure it out. At first I thought that somebody called a timeout, but that was a very interesting play. You know, Mamadou Sakho definitely caught Bryler Page there with that elbow, and it's not a good look. Let's see what the ref's call is going to be. So with 8 minutes and 19 seconds left in the second half, the Brook Bearcats lead by 10 points. And they're looking to extend their record in the standings and put a 3-game cushion between them and the Hunter Hawks.
So 48-38. I think we're going to get some clarification over what the call is. I wish we were a little bit closer to the refs. And we're just getting some clarification here. Sorry, I wish I could bring you more information right now. We're still waiting for the refs to figure out what's going on.
Especially in moments like this, you know, when you're debating back and forth. Just want to wait to see what the call is going to be. Still waiting for some information here. But thank you all for tuning in to the Battle of Lex here live at the York Arena. Bearcats versus the Hawks.
And it's going to be a foul on number 2. Thank you. The referee came over and let us know. Offensive foul on number 2, and it looked like it could have been more than that, but it's going to be Baruch's ball up by 10, 8:19 remaining.
It's definitely not a play you want to slow down momentum for the Hunter Hawks, but the Bearcats now have the ball with Jack Sixsmith kicking it over to Andre Harris.
Now Bryler Page has it up top, looking for Harris, backside. Pull-up jumper, rattles that home.
Right now the Bearcats
Extends it to 12.
The Bearcats have found themselves a lot of open shots, breaking down the defense of the Hawks right here, and definitely converting on the offensive end.
Franks now has it, gives it off to Lukic on the baseline. Inside to Franks. Franks gets the ball, and he draws the foul. The foul's going to be, I think, on number 32, Chimak Ekabar. Oh, sorry, it's going to be 15, Andre Harris. That's going to give him his second personal foul of the game. And that's going to send Franks to the line to shoot 2, and that's going to put him in. That's also going to put Hunter in the bonus. He knocks down the first. Franks, the 6'5" senior from Mamaroneck, New York, excuse me.
Right now it's going to be interesting to see how the Brook Bearcats play this, especially on defense, because they can't be as aggressive as they want to anymore.
Jack Sixsmith gives it to Bryler Page, over to back to Jack Sixsmith. Jack Sixsmith brings it to the front court. Fusco on him. 7.5 remaining here in the game. Baruch lead by 10, 50-40. Andre Harris, Gabardone on him. Hand off to Bryler Page. Bounce pass into Ekabar. He drives, gets the ball stripped from him. I think he wanted a foul call. Oh, and that's a dangerous play. That's a dangerous play right there as Fusco's falling on the ground. Andre Harris kind of tumbles on him. Not Harris's fault there, but also just a very dangerous play as Fusco and Harris both out of control. The foul's going to be on number 2, Bryler Page.
And that's not a foul that the Bearcats could afford to have right now, as Fusco will be stepping in for the 1-and-1. But right now he's only shooting 25% from the free throw tonight, so the Baruch Bearcats have an opportunity if he misses to get this rebound.
Fusco rounded out on the first one. Ekabar comes away with the rebound. Good foul there by Page after all, his third personal. William Sixsmith has it now. Gives it over to Bryler Page, right wing, looking for Sixsmith. The defensive Hunter has stepped out a little bit further. Jack Sixsmith drives. William Sixsmith looking at the left wing 3. He releases off front rim, no good. And Lukic comes away with the board for the Hawks.
You seen on that play right there, the Hunter Hawks are sending 2 defenders at him every single time. They're now being aware of William Sixsmith's deadly range from three-pointer.
And a turnover there by Hunter. And William Sixsmith in the backcourt into inbound here with a Baruch stealing another possession away from the Hunter Hawks. Almost doing it to themselves with another turnover. That is the Hawks' 17th turnover of the game. Baruch's only 8, and now Jack Sixsmith in the front court. 6:34 remaining here in the ballgame. Andre Harris now gives it up top to Jack Sixsmith. Pick right from Ekekabar. Gives it up top to Chima. Chima crossing over on Gabadon. Andre Harris gets it baseline. Finds Jack Sixsmith in the far corner. Drives on Lukic. High floater off the glass. Air ball. And Keener comes away with it for Hunter.
That's the shot you're looking for right there for the Bearcats from Jack Sixsmith.
Fusco has it up top now. Hunter could cut this to a single-digit deficit. Franks has it right wing. Working on Ekekabar. Back up top to Fusco. And Franks has been very hesitant to work on Ekekabar tonight the way Lukic has.
Definitely haven't been able to find his position for Franks.
Gabadon takes the Franks pick left, now goes right to Lukic in the corner, covered by Harris. Pull up over Harris, good D there. Ekekabar comes away with the rebound, his 9th.
On his way to a double-double tonight, but good way by the Bearcats on that defensive possession.
Jack Sixsmith fouled up top, foul on number 0, Fusco with 5.5 remaining, 50-40. Baruch lead with here on the CUNYAC game of the week. And what a games it's been. If you're just joining us now, late into the proceedings here, first game, women got a William Sixsmith gets the corner 3 opportunity, no good. Rebounded by Ekekabar, excuse me. The women got to the W, 75-74 with only 18 seconds left, taking the lead and able to hold on. Now Jack Sixsmith has it up top for the men. Brother Page bounce pass into Ekekabar. Ekekabar gets tripped, and it's going to be underneath. The foul going to be on number 20, Matt Franks. That's going to be only his first foul. Very impressive for Franks, who's played a lot of minutes tonight. Melvin Collins back into the game. And it's going to be a timeout for Hunter with 5:20 remaining. Baruch up by 10. You're watching the CUNYAC game of the week. You're watching the Battle of Lexington, and you're watching live on YouTube channel. Baruch Bearcats broadcasting, Jamal, and we're looking at a pretty good finish here. Baruch really needs a few more baskets to kind of put themselves in a position where they can hold on, whereas Hunter kind of just shooting themselves in the foot because they've had the opportunity a few times to cut it to a single-digit deficit.
Yeah, definitely Hunter with a lot of turnovers tonight. We're looking at 17 turnovers tonight. Has definitely not put themselves in the best position to win tonight, but also for the Bearcats, they cannot let up. They're going to have to find some quality shots on the offensive end, take advantage of that Hunter Hawks defense, especially that zone that they're playing. They've been able to work their way inside by passing the ball. So as long as they can keep that ball rotation going, they should be good and have a good opportunity here to pull out the win. Excuse me.
And the Baruch faithful making some noise here. We're in the final 5 minutes and 20 seconds of the CUNYAC Game of the Week doubleheader. We're in the last 5 minutes of the Battle of Lexington. A great turnout here tonight, Jamal. We have half the gym filled. We probably have the other half, probably about 3/4 filled. So a great turnout against Hunter in a true Battle of Lex. Bounce pass on the inbounds to Bryler Page is short. Rebound fought for. Keener comes away with it for the Hunter Hawks. I don't know if that's the possession you want for Coach Alisi's Bearcats right off the inbounds.
It's definitely not the possession that you want, but it's the possession you're going to have to live with, especially because that's where the Baruch Bearcats have been able to find holes in that Hawks defense.
Matt Franks bounce pass to Keener, up top to Collins, gives it back to Franks. The foul's going to be on the floor. It's going to be on number 32, Chimechiek Ekekabar.
Right now,
that's going to be his 3rd foul.
Right now, the Hawks are definitely taking advantage of the fact that the Baruch Bearcats are in the penalty as Frank steps in for the 1-and-1.
Franks, gets that one to roll over.
Right now, the Hawks are using a good formula, stop the clock, and see if he gets some points at the free throw line.
And he knocks down them both, 50-42, and finally the Hunter Hawks can cut it back to a single-digit deficit.
And now it's looking like they're going to apply this full-court pressure here to cause a turnover or slow down the Baruch Bearcats.
Sixsmith has it up top. The Page finds Ekekabar cutting in the middle. Has a free throw line jumper. He pulls, no good. Rebound fought for, and Ekekabar is able to corral a fresh 30 as Jack Sixsmith has a right wing. Bounce pass to Andre Harris. Harris drives, and he gets it stripped. Nice play there by Collins from behind to strip Andre Harris. Keeps the ball real low. Dangerous when you're 6'6".
Definitely dangerous right now for the Bearcats.
The foul's going to be underneath. The foul's going to be on number 15, Andre Harris. And I think that's going to be his 4th. And that's also going to send Hunter into the double bonus.
And right now, going into the double bonus, the Hunter Hawks have an opportunity to cut this lead to 6. And with that, kind of playing the Brook Bearcats game, you know, when the Brook Bearcats are down, they usually try to get get the other team into foul trouble and go to the free throw line. But right now, the Hawks are taking advantage of that strategy.
Gabidon knocks down the first, cutting it to 7, 4:23 remaining. And we got a making of a good finish here, Jamal.
We definitely do. 4 minutes and 23 seconds left in this game. It's definitely going to be a game that goes down to the final minutes.
And Gabidon's free throws cut the lead to 6. And Fusco on the foul there. He doesn't know why. And you can see it's getting to him a little bit. I've noticed he plays with a lot of emotion, but he also gets down on himself very easily.
And right now he has 4 fouls.
And Amir Lukic coming into the game. Danny Fusco to the bench.
Hey, great job. You got 4. Get a minute.
Jack Sixsmith now, covered by Collins. Like to see who's going to be the ball handler for Hunter with Fusco on the bench. William Sixsmith has it now, gives it to George Smith Jr. Back out to Sixsmith, looking for options. Chima just setting up in the paint, calling for the ball. He gets it now. He's able to turn on Franks. He drives, step back. Oh, nice fake pass there by Chima and knocks down the jumper. Excellent fake pass, looking over at Bryler Page. It gives him the space he needs, and Ekekabar from the left elbow able to knock that down, extend the lead back to 8 with 3:51 remaining. You're watching Baruch Basketball on YouTube channel. Baruch Bearcats. We'll be right back.
With the love of the game. But for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that, a lot more.
Sure, the game is important, but as we work so hard to build both mind and body, it's more about team.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics, and in giving the gift of sport to those for whom it seemed an impossible dream, we are working to make this a better world.
Help us keep that dream alive.
You can make a difference.
And welcome back to the Arc Arena. 52-44 Baruch lead with 3:51 remaining. It's the CUNYAC game of the week. It's also Battle of Lexington, and Baruch trying to hold on here. The lead has been as small as 7 here in this. Well, it started out as 5, but as small as 7 here in the late goings of this game. But Baruch right now currently up by 8, 52-44.
And right now, when the Hawks were definitely coming back, chipping away at that lead, the Bearcats called on their captain. He answered and delivered a timely bucket for them.
Now Fusco back in the game with 4 fouls, giving Hunter a little bit more ball handling options. But now Lukic has it, gives it off to Fusco in the corner, takes the pick left from Franks. Crossover move. Finds Franks again in the corner, working on Ekekabar. He's going to drive, backing down Ekekabar. Ekekabar and Harris now on the defense. Gives it off to Keener in the corner. Around and out, no good. Last off Harris. And that's interesting. It looked like, I don't know how that's possible because Harris was tipping it back into the middle of the court. But it's going to stay with Hunter underneath. It's going to be Gabidon to inbound, looking for Franks. Franks turns on, faces Ekekabar, bounce pass to Gabidon. Ball goes over his head, has to save it. Does with Keener. Keener going to drive now. Right into Ekekabar. Gabidon gets the rebound and 2 missed shots at point blank range for Hunter. And it's just not falling right now. Coming in on 3 minutes remaining here in the game. 52-44 Baruch lead. Jack Sixsmith brings it across the timeline.
Definitely a frustrating play for the Hawks as you had 2 missed free throws.
Now,
2.
Jack Sixsmith has a right wing. Looking for options. Bounce pass inside to Harris. Outside, inside out with Bryler Page. 3 ball, bottom of the net. Bryler Page, his 4th 3 of the night. 4 of 9 from the field. 14 points for the junior.
Right now, with all points coming from three-pointer, he's definitely been able to play big for the Bearcats.
Keener now going against Page. And that's going to be an offensive foul against George Keener, the sophomore from Fort Hamilton High School. He's slow to get up. Yep, Keener's still down. Keener slow to get up as Collins comes to the bench to check in. And Keener will come to the bench. I think he rolled his ankle on that one. Nice play there by Bryler Page to draw the charge. That was only Keener's first. Baruch lead by 11 with 2.5 remaining here in the ball game.
And that's a tough loss for the Hawks right now, as Keener is their leading scorer with 13 points and 9 boards. Definitely going to be interesting to see where the offensive production comes from.
And a sloppy play there by Ekabar as he stepped on the sideline, and it's going to go back to Hunter. Unforced error for Baruch. Even better, Hunter doesn't take any time off the clock and gets the ball right back. George Smith Jr. comes to the bench. Andre Harris back into the game. Inbound to Lukic, and he's fouled underneath, and that's going to send him to the line for 2 as George Keener comes back to the scorer's table to check back in for the Hunter Hawks.
And most importantly, no time really coming off of the clock on that play.
All of 2 seconds. So a couple back-to-back offensive fouls. Well, an offensive foul on George Keener, then out of bounds on Ekabar, now Lukic going to the line. So very minimal time coming off the clock, and Hunter will have an opportunity to cut this back to 9 as Lukic hits the first. And the crowd's starting to make some noise. Lukic hits them both, though. William Sixsmith to inbound. Bounce pass to his brother Jack. Gabadone picks him up. Bounce pass to Bryler Page. Brings it into the front court. And Baruch offense really been stagnant over the last few minutes here.
Definitely has been stagnant, although we've seen that 3 by Bryler Page.
Foul's going to be on number 14. Gio Gabadone. His 4th, and a bunch of players now in foul trouble. If you're Hunter, with Gabadone and Fusco both with 4 fouls. Baruch, on the other hand, have Bryler Page with 4, Anthony Gibbs with 3, Harris with 3, and Ekabar with 3. And Jack Sisman knocks down the first. And with that, Anthony Gibbs checks back into the game as Bryler Page comes to the bench. Not 100% sure. I'm not a huge sneakerhead, but I do like the shoes that both Anthony Gibbs and Bryler Page wearing the same shoes tonight are wearing. I believe there's some sort of Jordans.
They look like some sort of Jordans.
But all gray is what I like. The bottoms, they're like black, red, and white on the bottom, so all around working. And these guys are always coming out with the newest and latest shoes, you know. So, and there's a steal there by William Sixsmith, and Coach Pellin wanted a foul call. Bounce pass up top to Ekabar, thinking about pulling the 3, and he'll dribble it back out. Anthony Gibbs slows it up. Baruch up by 11. A little under 2 minutes remaining here in the ball game. And Hunter really have to be careful not to let this one slip away, whereas Baruch can really finish this one off. Gives it all. Oh, Ekabar, dangerous pass there. Outside to Jack Sixsmith. He drives. Bounce pass to the corner to Gibbs. Gives it over to Andre Harris. Corner 3. That's going to be way short as Amir Lukic comes away with that one for the Hawks. 1:30 coming in on here in the game.
But a smart play for the Bearcats on that one, taking off a lot of time off the clock.
Foul's going to be on number 4, and he has to be very careful. I mean, he tried to give the ball to the ref, but it almost was a little bit of a hard of a pass. And you got to be very careful there. If you're Anthony Gibbs, that's going to be his 4th, and Bryler Page quickly to the scorer's table to presumably to check back in.
Yeah, especially running off the court, running behind the court like that. You know, the refs could call attack at any time.
Him and that select ref were talking it over.
Right.
And the ref being a little stern with him, looking like so Anthony Gibbs coming to the bench.
Yeah, anytime you have a tough call like that, you just got to try to walk away and realize what's at stake right here.
And Gabadone knocks down them both. 9-point lead for Baruch. 1:30 remaining here in the game. Jack Sixsmith gets the inbound. Gives it to William. Bounce pass back to Jack. A little 2-man game between the Sixsmith brothers, but finally get it across the court. Ekabar now. He's going to drive. Loses the ball. Ball's loose on the floor. It's going to be a jump ball, and it'll stay with Baruch. Very fortunate there about the possession now, but a sloppy play there by Ekabar, almost turning it over.
Yeah, sloppy play by Ekabar, but it seems like the Baruch Bearcat strategy right now is to run out the clock as they're just trying to pass around the ball and walk out of here winners.
Jack Sixsmith pass into his brother William. Looking for options, gives it up top to Ekabar. Ekabar covered by Fusco. He drives by 2 guys, gives it to William Sixsmith. Deep 3 by Sixsmith, off back rim, no good. Lukic comes away with it. Definitely not the shot you want there if you're Baruch.
Not the shot what you want there, but on the positive about that is you run off a lot of time off the clock, putting more pressure on the Hunter Hawks.
Nice play there by Fusco, kicks it out to Keener, right wing 3. Air ball. Lukic comes away with the rebound and finishes it over Harris. And Coach Pellin wants a timeout.
It's interesting now.
It's going to be a 30-second timeout with 48.1 left and Hunter trailing by 7, 57-50. This is the second game of your Battle of Lexington, the second game of the CUNYAC Game of the Week. And you're watching it live here on YouTube channel, Baruch Bearcats Broadcasting. Shout out to WBMB tonight, our former radio station, providing the music and the hits for this one. And shout out to all the teams and the clubs that came out here at Baruch to really support their Bearcats tonight. Definitely, hopefully they'll come out again on Saturday night. Don't forget to tune in. Saturday night, it is senior night here at the Arc Arena with Medgar Evers coming to town. The women tip off at 2, the men tip off at 4. Jamal Chapman will be doing that game. So tune in about 1:55, 1:50 for the pregame. And we have a great game of basketball, great seniors to honor. For the women, you got Shannon Barrett, the leading scorer for the women, leading rebounder, as well as some of the other girls, Maria Maranthopoulos and Jacqueline Thamakoon. And for the men, you're gonna be honoring Dwayne Brighty, senior, coming back for his last season, and Chima Ekekabar, the all-time leading scorer for the Baruch Bearcats. I'm actually kind of disappointed, Jamal. I'm not going to be here for that one.
No, definitely. We'd love to have you there. You've been calling some very good games for the Bearcats this season and doing such a wonderful job.
I appreciate it, man.
Your presence is definitely going to be missed, man.
William Sixsmith at the line now to shoot 1-1, excuse me. 9th team foul against Hunter, and Sixsmith rattles that one home, 58-50, 46.9 left, and needs some clutch free throw shooting here from the Bearcats down the stretch.
Right now, the Bearcats are looking to put this game on ice, and with 46 seconds left in this game, William Sixsmith stepping in for the second free throw, and it's good.
Knocks that one home as well, 59-50, a little under 47 seconds left here in the ball game. Fusco picks it up now, and the clock starts running. 9-point lead for Baruch. He's going to go straight into the rim. Offensive foul as Jack Sixsmith hits the deck. And that's going to be Fusco's 5th of the game. He's out of here. Puts out the forearm. And a couple changes now. Number 1, Benny DeMarco checks into the game. And number 3, Melvin Collins also checks into the game from the Hunter Hawks.
And now with that foul, both teams are in double bonus.
The foul number 12, George Keener, stops the play before the clock even gets running. So 42 seconds remaining in the game. Chima Ekekabar going to the line to shoot 2 and a real chance to extend this lead to double digits.
Chima, 78% free throw shooter, stepping into the line. See if the captain can put the game on ice.
And Ekekabar off on the first. Rattled around and out. Visibly frustrated is Chima.
Definitely frustrated, but he has one more opportunity. With a 9-point lead with 42 seconds to go in this game, the Bearcats just played solid defense, and let's see how they do in the rest of this last seconds of this game.
And Ekekabar off on both. Clock starts running. Hunter trail by 9.
You just have to get back right now and play solid defense.
Lukic now trying to find options on the right wing. Gives it to Gabadon. Crossover behind the back dribble. Pull-up jumper, no good. Rebound long. Comes to Keener. Keener pulls a 3, right wing. Right side off rim. Jack Sixsmith comes away with it, and it's going to be a timeout. Smart play there by Jack Sixsmith underneath to call timeout for the Bearcats. And you have to think that this one is moments away from another Bearcats W. Now going to be on an 8 out of 10 run here for Baruch.
Especially with 21 seconds left in this game, a 9-point lead. I don't see the Hawks coming back from that. So it's safe to say the Baruch Bearcats will be victorious.
So 21.2 remaining, 59-50. Don't forget to tune in this weekend. Saturday is senior day, 2 p.m. Women's basketball at 2, 4 p.m. Men's basketball, both against Medgar Evers. Really going to be celebrating some excellent careers here at Baruch. And then that'll be the final home game of the regular season. And then if we don't get the bye, we'll be playing at home on the 17th. Right now it would be against Brooklyn College, but the jury's still out to see who we're going to play right now. Brooklyn College holding that 6th spot. Right now a game and a half behind Staten Island. who really played a nice game tonight against Brooklyn College, able to get the W 87-78. So it's really going to be on. You're hoping that Staten Island could lose at Lehman to close out the season, and then Baruch really need to beat John Jay on the road as well as Medgar Evers this weekend. Two teams that are coming in with under sub 500 records. Inbound to Jack Sixsmith. Nice overhead pass. Bryler Page is fouled by Keener, and that's going to send Page to the line to shoot two. 17.4 seconds. Baruch have a chance to extend it to 11, and you can hear the crowd starting to think that it may be over here at the Arc Arena.
It's starting that old chant, na 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 na, hey hey hey, goodbye.
And Bryler Page hits the first. Jamal, I'm always a little wary to do that before the zeros are on the clock. You've seen some wild stuff over the years, but the feeling around the arena is that Baruch could really close this out here with some free throws by Bryler Page after he knocks down the first.
Talk about wild stuff. Anything can happen with time left on that clock. No game is over until those zeros on that clock.
And Gibbs comes in, checks back into the game. Bryler Page to the bench. Gibbs gives you a little more tenacity, I think, defensively, especially covering some of the ball handlers that Hunter have on the floor. Keener outside to Franks. Shot no good. Ekekabar tips the ball to himself, and they could really run this one down. Over to Jack Sixsmith, brings it to the front court, and that'll do it. A standing ovation here for the Baruch Bearcats as they sweep the Battle of Lexington over Hunter College. The women 75-74, and the men 61-50. A nice win here for the Bearcats men, moving them now to 10-4 in the conference. A full game, still a game and a half back from Staten Island, with 2 games left in the season for the Baruch Bearcats.
Very good win tonight for the Baruch Bearcats as they go into the 2 last games. You know, one more game back here this Saturday against Medgar Evers College, and then one next week on Tuesday against John Jay College at John Jay College. But it's good to walk away with 2 solid wins back-to-back. First being Brooklyn College, and now Hunter here. And
Baruch playing 2 solid halves of basketball. You're talking about winning by 5 in the first half, winning by 6 in the second half, giving you that 11-point win overall. But what I'm impressed about is the ball security tonight for Baruch. Only 10 turnovers, and I mean, you know, we've seen a lot of basketball here. That's a great number to have, especially when your opponent's committing 20 turnovers themselves.
You know, it's always been pivotal for the Baruch Bearcats to limit the turnovers that they cause, and the 10 turnovers tonight, it's definitely been beneficial for them. But also, 20 assists with 22 made shots, has definitely been important for the Baruch Bearcats. Moving this ball, getting open shots for their teammates as they get onto the court, and it's been very good for them right now.
Bryler Page leading the way tonight for the Bearcats, 16 points. Ekekabar having 15, and Sixsmith chipping in with his season average of 14 points. 4-14, though, tonight is William Sixsmith, a little bit under his shooting numbers from deep.
A little bit under his shooting numbers, but a big shout-out to Bryler Page and William Sixsmith, who's definitely in the first half has picked up the Baruch Bearcats, contributing with 18 points combined. Setting up for Ekekabar to come out into the second half and be aggressive and end off the night with 15 points and 13 rebounds.
Baruch shooting tonight 37%, also holding their opponents at 37%. The big difference, though, 5 more threes than their opponents tonight, going 9 of 23, 39% for Baruch.
Definitely for Baruch. They shot very well from the field and was able to slow down the Hawks. You know, at times the Hawks looking like they're going to come back in this game, but the Baruchs did not let up. As you said a minute ago, 39% from three-pointer, 37% from the field. And you had on the other side the Hunter Hawks shooting 25% and 37% from the field and 25% from three-pointers. Definitely could have knocked down the three-pointers, and that was definitely the difference for the Bearcats tonight.
15 steals tonight for Baruch, allowing them to have 14 extra shot attempts than the Hunter Hawks. When you get in the ball like that, you're getting more shots off. You're going to have a great recipe to win. Granted, shame the shot the same percentage, but when you have those 14 extra opportunities, you're going to hit a few more.
And also to that, solid adjustments, as you've seen when definitely Lukic was definitely taking advantage of the matchup against Ekekabar. Coach Alexi was seeing that he could put in George Smith Jr. and as well as Allen Villar in there to kind of put some size on him and slow down Lukic there, because he was definitely heating up in the first half.
So we have 3 double-doubles tonight. Chima had 15 and 13. And then for Hunter, it was George Keener leading the way with 13 points, 10 boards. But like you said, Amir Lukic, 13 points, 14 rebounds, and really having going 5 of 10, but 5 of 6 from inside 2-point range, kind of having his way inside the paint.
Definitely was a force in there, but it was interesting to see that Coach Peelan and the Hunter Hawks didn't go back to that strategy and work Amir Lukic inside.
So that's about going to do it for us here at the Arc Arena. Once again, the Battle of Lexington, a success if you're Baruch tonight. And it was also the CUNYAC game of the week, so a nice sweep for Baruch. The women's game was 75-74. Baruch women win in the final seconds of the game, and tonight Baruch really holding the lead throughout, 61-50 over the Hunter Hawks, moving their record in the conference to 10-4. We want to thank WBMB for providing our music tonight. We'd like to thank the teams and the clubs and the fans that came out tonight to really support the Baruch squad throughout the entire evening, starting with the women, finishing with the men. This broadcast has been in conjunction with the Baruch Athletics Department. Once again, this has been the CUNYAC game of the week. Once again, your final scores in the women's game, 75-74, and in the men's game, 61-50, a clean sweep for the Baruch Bearcats. For Jamal Chapman, I'm Dave Just. Have a great night, everybody.
Good night, New York.